Hey guys, welcome here. This is the 9th. Today we're opening up 3 boxes of the new Cyber Style structure deck. With this deck, we are only using the cards available in the 3 available structure decks, no extra cards. So this is going to be your budget variant. Along the way, there might be some good cards to add on, including some of the already existing Cyber Dragon support. But for today, I just want to upload what a good deck you can make with just 3 structure decks. So without further ado, let's begin. So first off, we're starting off with 2 Cyber Dark Chimeras. And if you don't know its effect, you can discard 1 spell or trap card, add 1 power bond from your deck to your hand. Also, you cannot use monsters as fusion material for the rest of the turn except dragon or machine cyber monsters. And once, if you fusion summon this turn, you can also use monsters in your graveyard as fusion materials by banishing them. And if this card is sent to your graveyard, you can send 1 Cyber Dark monster from your deck to your graveyard with a different name from the cards in your graveyard. So pretty awesome there, being able to kind of start the deck and search for your power bond efficiently. Next, we're going to run 1 copy of each of the original Cyber Dark monsters. So to be fair, they are kind of bricks in the deck. I may consider bumping them up to 2, but they're cards you really don't want to have in your hand. The only thing you could really do is when you normal summon them, equip one of the level 3 monsters from your graveyard. But in terms of advantage, you really want to just send it from your deck to your grave instead. Next, we have 3 copies of Cyber Dark Cannon. This allows you to search for your Cyber Dark monsters from your deck to your hand. And when it's equipped to a monster and sent to the graveyard, you can draw 1 card. Definitely one of the cards you want to see in your opening hand. Next, we have 3 copies of Claw. So similar effect that when you discard it, you can search for a Cyber Dark spell or trap card. And when it's equipped to a monster, during a damage step, you can send a monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. And while it's equipped and sent to the graveyard, you can target a Cyber Dark monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Next, we run 1 copy of Attachment Cyber. You can target 1 dragon or machine cyber monster you control, equip it from your hand or field to it, and it gains 600 attack. And if it's sent to the graveyard while equipped to a monster, you can target 1 other dragon or machine cyber monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Next, we play 1 of the Kaijus. This is pretty awesome to have. This is your only way out to certain cards in other people's decks. Next, we play 1 of the Gizmek. Pretty good mid to late game. Kind of adds a little bit of flexibility to the deck. Might consider taking it out though. Next, for our light Cyber Dragons, we run 2 of the normal Cyber Dragon, and we play 1 Naster. You do need the actual Cyber Dragon name for some of the plays in the deck as well as light monsters, so we do run 3 of these. Now we play 3 copies of Cyber Dark World. This is going to be one of the cards that you want to be able to play and resolve during your first turn every time. During your main phase, you can immediately after its effect resolves, normal summon 1 Cyber Dark monster. A lot of the monsters have to be normal summoned to get their effects, so this is pretty useful. And when this card resolves, you can add a Cyber Dark monster from your deck to your hand with a different name of a card from your graveyard. And if you would equip a monster from your graveyard with a Cyber Dark monster's effect, you can equip monsters from your opponent's graveyard instead. So the last effect you don't utilize as much, but the first 2 effects are pretty useful. Next, we're going to play 3 copies of Inferno. This card's been out for a few years now in terms of a Legendary Duelist set, but it protects your Cyber Dark monsters, and it allows you to bounce one of your own Cyber Dark monsters to your hand to re-normal summon. It's a great card to have for protection there. Next, we play 3 Lightning Storms. Some of you may have not known, but this comes in the structure deck. We don't know if it'll come out in the TCG variant of the deck, but it is awesome to play, and you are focusing on going second. So being able to potentially stop one of your opponent's negates or just blow away their field to start your own plays is something that's very useful. Next, we play 3 copies of Cybernetic Horizon. Its effect is this card is always treated as a Cyber Dark card. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck to turn you activate this except machine monsters. Send 2 dragon and or machine cyber monsters with different attributes to your graveyard, 1 from your hand and 1 from your deck. Add 1 dragon or machine cyber monster from your deck to your hand. If you do, send 1 machine cyber fusion monster from your extra deck to grave. So this card has a lot of effects, but basically this is also one of your starting plays. So you send either a light or a dark from your hand and send the opposite from your deck to the graveyard as the activation condition. And when the effect resolves, you add one from your deck to your hand, and then you can send a Machine Cyber Fusion monster from extra deck to grave. So I usually send Cyber End Dragon to be equipped from the graveyard. Next we play 3 Overload Fusions. You're sending a lot of monsters from your deck to your graveyard, and being able to fusion summon from your graveyard is pretty great. So we run 3 of these. Next we play 2 Power Bond. This is also a card you want to see. It is searchable, so that's why we have that too. Being able to OTK your opponent like crazy is always a fun time. Next we play 1 Cyber Dark Impact. This is kind of like a Miracle Fusion, except it bounces it back to your deck instead of banishing it. When we play 1 Cyber Load Fusion, this recycles all of your banished machine monsters for your fusion summon, so we do run 1 of these. Next we play 2 copies of Limiter Removal. Just basically helps with the OTK. And we play 1 Infinite Impermanence. It's in the deck, might as well play it. The only hand trap that's available. And then for our last card, we play 1 Cyber Dark Invasion. So it's a continuous trap. You can activate one of these effects, target a Cyber Dark effect monster you control, equip a dragon or machine monster from either graveyard to that target as an equipped spell, and it gains 1000 attack. And its other effect is send 1 equipped card you control, equipped to a machine monster to the graveyard, destroy 1 card your opponent controls, does not target. And next, we're going to jump into our extra deck. So we play 1 Chimera Tech Overload Dragon. So this card requires a Cyber Dragon and 1 or more machine monsters, and it gains 800 attack for each monster that you use for its material. So since you run 3 Cyber Dragons, this is a card that you'll be able to summon a lot. And with using Power Bond, even if you only just use 2 or 3 monsters, you can beef up this monster's attack pretty high. Next we play 3 Cyber End Dragons. This card is summonable technically, because we do run 3 Cyber Dragon targets, but it's not something we often summon. We typically use it as an equip in order to go into our main monster, which I'll talk about in a sec. Next we just play 3 Cyber Dark Dragons. This is the main bread and butter. There'll be a lot of times we do summon this, but it won't be staying on the field. We'll find out why in a sec. Pretty card there. Next we play 3 of the newer fusion, Cyber Darkness Dragon. Similar condition in terms of the normal one, except it requires 5. Definitely an overload fusion target. And for our main, this is boss monster, Cyber Dark End Dragon. So it requires either for fusion material Cyber Dark Dragon, a Cyber End Dragon, but you can also tribute a Cyber Dark fusion monster that's level 10 or lower that has a Cyber End Dragon equipped to it in order to summon it. And its effects is that this card is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. And once per turn, you can target a monster in yours or your opponent's graveyard and becomes an equipped card to this. And this card can attack up to the number of equipped cards attached to it. So this is your win condition. Unless they have a kaiju, they're probably not getting over a 5,000 beat stick. So what do you guys think of my budget deck? This is definitely something I will be, editing in the next coming months. There hasn't been any events in a while, but there are some locals and, teammates that I do plan on playing with and attending soon. So I will update this profile soon if you guys are interested. What do you guys think? Let me know. Take care, guys. Peace.